I'll just do a gentle introduction in terms of things that make your life a little easier as a programmer in R. So a couple of functions are going to be functions which allow you to explore your variables, so they make an understanding of these variables a little easier, as well as say you're going to import some data. They work when you can sort of demystify the data in terms of what are the smaller portions of what this data is, and they help you understand what the structure of the data is inside R. So with that, let's define a couple of variables. We'll do var, and we'll define a vector, say 198 to another 78, 89, and we'll put a couple of numbers, and we'll define another vector, call this var2, and we'll compose this of strings. Let's say string 1, string 2, and string 3. So we can move forward and use a function which is called the class function. So if we do class, do var, press enter, it's numeric class, and that gives you basically the type and the class of whatever that we had stored in there. Remember, R is an object-oriented programming language as well as a functional programming language. So with object-oriented programming language, everything in R that you create is an object, and it belongs to a certain class, which, if you're not familiar with this, it's sort of like a template. So you set down a couple of constant variables, you set down a couple of functions, you set down a couple of layouts, and you basically put that layout together and say, this is how we're going to build this object. So it's like a template for a house. Say, here is the house template, here is the way it's going to be constructed, these are the different portions of the house, there's a window, door, these sorts of things, and that's how it's going to be constructed. And everything in R is going to be constructed as an object. It's going to be belonging to some sort of class which has functions, and that's the way it's organized in R. So when we do the class of the variable, we get numeric out. If we do class of var2, we're going to get character out. And if we do another function, which is the str, we do str of var, we get num 1 through 6, and it's going to print out all of the contents inside. If we do an str on, say, a data frame, it's going to do another sort of output, do str, and we place our R2. We can see that it has sort of given out information about, firstly, what it's composed of. It's composed of character strings. Secondly, how many values are there and how many values you can access. You can access anywhere from 1 to 3 values. And what are the values? Sometimes it doesn't give you the values, which is helpful since you might be dealing with very large data elements, and with that you don't want to be accessing those specific data elements. Sometimes you might have data elements inside a list, so you may have multiple vectors inside vectors, inside vectors, inside lists, and those sorts of things, which gets very complicated. You don't want to be accessing all of those. And here, in this case, it's very simple. It's printed out the 3 elements inside var. So str is another way of taking a look at the data inside. You can use the summary function, which is going to give you, as it looks, summary of what's held inside. To summary var, it's giving a summary of whatever numbers that are here. So oftentimes when we have numeric data, we might do some sort of statistical manipulation of that data. And when we take a look at the summary here, it's going to give you summary of data. And when you say you want to get a summary of some data, oftentimes what you're saying is compress the data in such a way that it gives me meaningful information. All of data science is composed of sort of demystifying data and giving it in terms of simple, understandable numerics which can define the whole data set. Here, the summary function does the same. It says the minimum is 1 and the maximum is 812. The box and whisker plot type thing is going to be first quartile 80.75, the median is 93.5, the mean is 215, which is also called the average, and then the third quartile is 184.20. And if we do a summary function on var2, you can see that the output is going to be slightly different. It says its length is 3, its class is character, mode is character. So it's going to give out information about the string vector. And with this, you can see another aspect of R where it's also going to support general or generic programming, where these functions, such as summary functions, and there's another function which is called plot, through which you can plot multiple data elements. And what these functions do is they can basically take data of any form that you have, any data type you have, and if you just submit it to them, they're going to do the manipulation based on what data form you've submitted. So it's going to be very dynamic in terms of what action it does, and it's going to be different for every data form. However, you have to only call one summary function. You don't have to call string summary or int summary or vector summary or data frame summary. You just have to call the summary function, toss in whatever data that you want to place inside, and it's going to give results based on what you have given it to it. And the last function will be an attributes function, and we'll do attributes, and we'll put var, and let's press enter. It says null, no extra attributes. And if we do var2, let's do var2 here, it's going to put null as well, since we've not defined any extra attributes here. If we have, say, data frames or those things, there are going to be extra attributes that we have defined. And since this is a simple vector, we don't really need to see the attributes. Attributes are basically additional functions or aspects or parts of an object that can be used to manipulate that object. So if you want to see all the functionality, you can just place the object inside these parentheses and place attributes, and you can see all the attributes that are available to you for that object. So with that, let's move on to the core help functions, which are actually going to provide you help for a certain function that you might be looking for. So let's move along.